Hi, and welcome to episode 55 of Think Like a Hacker, the podcast about WordPress, security, and innovation. The Wordfence team had an incredible time at WordCamp US in St. Louis, Missouri. While there, Mark had an opportunity to sit down with the leadership at Yoast. Marieke van Rakt and Michiel Heijmans sat down in the Wordfence booth to talk about some of the things that are happening with Yoast and with Yoast Academy. If you're doing anything on the web, search engine optimization is a big part of being found. It's also a big part of your education because it's always changing. So sit back and have a good listen to Marieke and Michiel.
I am at WordCamp US 2019 in St. Louis with Marieke and Michiel from Yoast. How did I do?
Oh, you did great. Yeah, that was a great pronunciation.
My amateur, my Afrikaans maybe helped out a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm not going to try to speak Afrikaans to you because my Afrikaans is rusty and my Dutch is non-existent. So, so we won't do that. But how's WordCamp so far?
I think it's been great. It's been really mellow. I think everything's still relaxed. I didn't speak. Yeah. So I usually, when I'm at a WordCamp, I do a workshop or I have a talk, and I didn't have that. So that was great, actually.
So much more relaxed than normal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're running a booth here, and you have a very substantial booth. So it sounds like the talk is actually more stressful than the booth.
Definitely.
A little bit?
Definitely. I think the fun thing is that we have 4 support engineers in the US. So they're basically locals, and they're here and they're in the booth all day. Just helping out people so we can walk around and talk to all the fun people that are here.
No, it's... now that Kerry and I have kind of grown into a team, having a great team behind you is amazing. But so let's talk about Yoast and where you guys came from. Can you talk about your origins a little bit?
Well, Yoast the person, so there is a Yoast the company and Yoast the person. Yes. Yoast the person started the company almost 10 years ago, all by himself in our attic. He is my husband, so I was there. But I had my own career back then. And I think, then you came along.
Okay. Back in like 2011, Yoast and I started working together. I had my own company, but he had so much more to offer than everything I was doing. So I gladly joined in 2012. And then all the things took off like rockets.
And at that point, it was just the 3 of you, or? The
2 of them, actually. I was interfering with everything you did, everything. But I wasn't part of the team. I have a PhD in criminology, and I was teaching in university. That was my thing. Yeah. But then this started growing, and I wanted to stay involved. But I think I joined 6 years ago. So after 3 years of Yoast, I gave up my career and became full-time. Well, employee at first.
Yeah. Marieke, PhD in criminology.
Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't go into cybersecurity.
I don't really like that part of crime.
Really?
I thought about I'm all about why people become criminals and not how to prevent things.
Or what they do once they are criminals.
But I'm mostly interested in bad childhoods and these kinds of things.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And so how did the company evolve? How did you begin to grow the team bigger than kind of the founder level? How did that work?
I think at first the main product, the main paid product, the customers were all consultancy customers. And there was a free plugin which had like 1 million installs. And Yoast and I were doing consultancy, and at one point Marieke said, well, you can make money off that free plugin somehow.
If you have 1 million installs, then you should maybe think about how that could be monetized.
Yeah.
And that's when we grew from being only consulting to doing both consulting and plugins or products. And well, I think 3 years ago we stopped doing the consulting altogether because that was such a small part of what we were doing.
It doesn't scale because you only have so many hours, right?
Yeah.
And so how did the rest of the business evolve? What did that become? What were you selling instead of ours?
Well, I think our premium plugin is the most important product. Mm-hmm. So, we have about 9 million active installs of our plugin, and I think 250,000 paid customers. Yeah. So the very large portion of our customers is free, but still we have a substantial amount of people that pay $89 a year, and that that gives us a livelihood. And then we have the Academy, and we have some other plugins, but they are much smaller than our premium plugin.
So for folks that don't use Yoast, what do you get for, I don't know who that is because you're so big these days, but 9 million, right? But what do you get for $89 a year?
So our free plugin is basically all you need, although you can make it much easier with a paid product. But our mission is SEO for everyone, and we want everyone to have a chance to rank in the search engines. So it's not that you can't rank without our premium product, but it will make it easier. So our redirect manager will help you manage your redirects, and you'll have an internal linking feature that will help you to get your internal linking structure up and running. We have morphology recognition, which basically says that if you use a keyword but use the plural or a different word form, like if you have a verb, you use the past tense, it will all recognize that. So it all makes it easier to do your SEO if you have the premium version of our plugin.
Now, we're babies. We only have 3 million installs. Yeah. So we're just starting out,
That's amazing.
Very similar though, most of the value is in the free product, and you don't have to get the paid product to be secure. And we have something like 80,000 paid customers or websites, I forget. This is why they don't let me do the numbers anymore. But very very similar model, and also open source
you have
plugin.
A better conversion rate though than.
We're working on that. We're actually trying to get better at measuring. And Kathy is our director of marketing now, Kathy Zant. And if you haven't met her, hopefully you'll meet her this evening. But we really are focusing on measuring to kind of understand what we need to fix or what we're doing right and we need to do more of. So that's where a lot of our energy is going now. Before, we were really focused on just growth and managing growth. And now we're kind of moving into that more mature phase, I guess, of business to measure better and understand what we should be measuring and so on. But,
we're doing that as well. We've been growing for a long time.
Yeah. Now, with the Yoast plugin, do you have any backend services that you have to provide or maintain, where you have a server farm that does something? For example, you mentioned language analysis. Are you doing that within the plugin? Or
we do everything within the plugin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When talking about security, there's also the thing of GDPR and data security and everything.
For sure.
So we try to move as little data as possible to our service. So almost everything is done client side.
Which makes
really
it
smart.
hard. Yeah, it's smart, but it's also very hard because you don't want to make a plugin that's too heavy on the site, and we actually are working on it, making it much more fast, and that will come out early next year, I guess, which makes it, I think, 50% less heavy on your server.
But you make such a great point, and that's a challenge that we've had as well, is that the environment that your code is executing in is so unpredictable, right? And it's so varied. In some cases you have massive resources because it's a dedicated server, and in other cases it's 200 other people on the same server and they're all getting a lot of traffic. And it has to run on everything. So do you have a QA team that does that goes and tests it across all platforms and so on?
Yes.
Yeah, we're both not the technical people in the company.
No, but we do have a QA team.
But we definitely have a QA team.
They are lovely people.
We have quite a strict development process where this is one of the major things.
So imagine 9 million active installs, and they all have a different setup. They all use different plugins alongside of our plugin. That's like a really difficult, and you'll get into interference if you're that big. So we test our software to the max, I guess. Yeah.
I feel like if you want a trial by fire as a developer, write a WordPress plugin that becomes popular.
Yeah.
You know, because normally as a developer you have a very predictable environment. If you're writing a SaaS application, let's say you work for Salesforce, it's on their servers, they control the environment, they can change it in any way that they want. With us, we throw it out into the wild, and it really is the wild, right?
It's 9 million responsibilities.
Yeah.
There you go. 9 million different environments.
Yeah.
Yeah, well put. So what's next for Yoast? Where are you headed from here?
We have some exciting updates coming up. So we are working on making it more fast. We have the indexable update coming up. That's going to be really amazing. That's a technical thing in which we organize stuff in a different way, which will make everything a lot faster.
Also for Google.
Yes, yeah, everything's for Google.
Everything's for Google.
Yeah, and we've been updating our internal linking feature, which already is awesome, but we've made it much more, the analysis is much more in depth now. And that's rolling out, I think, also in January. And we've been really busy with the Gutenberg update from last year. So last year we couldn't get any features or few features out ourselves because our entire team was building the block editor.
Yeah.
And this year we took a step back from that and did our own thing.
Okay.
We always try to team a year, and for this year it was back to our roots. What do we do? What's our flagship product? How can we improve on that? So we also did internal sessions with the entire team, not just developers, but everyone, just to see what kind of features we would need and we could develop in the next year and see what helps the people that use our plugin. So this year has really been about what is our product?
Yeah.
What do we do? What does it mean for people? Yeah, which is awesome.
I think that's really smart, really understanding your user and what problems they have and how you can solve those problems.
Yeah.
How big's the team now?
I think almost 90 people in our offices in Wiegen, so the Netherlands. And then
90?
90, yes.
Wow.
And then we have about 20 of them all around the world.
Okay.
And that's ranging from support engineers, obviously, in different time zones, to Andrea, who's our accessibility expert, developers, Jono, who's one of our lead SEO consultants. So it's a huge team.
When I was at WordCamp EU, I saw you had, I think it was 2 booths at EU, which is awesome. And there was a lot of focus on Yoast Academy.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about what that is and what it offers?
Yes.
Take a break. There you go.
I'm so sorry. So the Yoast Academy
You guys are a great team, by the way.
Awesome, yeah. We work together all the time. And so the Yoast Academy is something I'm from the. I had a career in the university in teaching. So when I came to Yoast, I wanted to do something with that. And the plugin is very nice, but people need to know much more. So that's where we came up with we need to make SEO courses. We did some in-house training, but that never really scaled. So we came up with the Academy. And we now have a real bunch of SEO courses, a lot. And we have 3 free courses. We just recently rolled out the WordPress for Beginners course. So that's not even about SEO. It's about WordPress and how to get started with WordPress. And that's going great, actually. And so we hope that more people get in to learn about WordPress and maybe then also learn about SEO. Yeah.
And are these courses paid or?
Yes. Well, they're free and paid. So the WordPress one, we have one about WordPress and one about our plugin and one in basic SEO. They're free. And then we have more advanced courses and they are paid. Yeah.
I think that's very interesting. And just for fun, I'm going to make a prediction that your Learning Academy is going to become a bigger business than your plugin. And it's going to take some time, but I think that might happen. You know, I had the pleasure of hanging out with this guy a few years ago at this venture capitalist retreat in the Utah mountains. We were snow kiting, where you strap skis to your feet and then you build a big kite. You strap a kite to yourself and it drags you across the snow. And I almost got dragged off a cliff until someone on a snowmobile came and rescued me. But one of the guys at this thing was a guy called Sebastian Thrun, who is the creator of Google Street View. And he was head of AI at Stanford, at the AI lab. And I got to hang out. We ended up going skiing on the last day because there was the wind was just blowing out or whatever. And I got chatting with him, and he said that he thought that learning in the sort of university sense, and Marieke, you are obviously from that academic environment, is a very inefficient delivery system for knowledge. And he wanted to fix that. And he was going to create a business that was going to do that. And a couple of years later, I heard that Sebastian had gone off and created Udemy. He was the founder of Udemy, which I thought was really cool, sort of seeing someone say that. But I thought it was very interesting that he was also from academia, PhD, and he thought that it was, he saw that was inefficient. And my dad was actually in distance learning as well, back in the 90s before he retired. And he was very excited about the online world and how efficient it would make learning. And I think also how on demand it is. You can pick what you want to learn and so on. And, I've seen this in the film space, for example. There's a director of photography that Sean and I are a big fan of, Shane Hurlbut. He's a famous guy, and he did the latest Terminator. He filmed that. And normally in Hollywood, you'd have to go and be someone's slave for 10 years on a film set to learn about film, right? But now you can, this guy's put all the materials online, and he's just teaching everyone what he knows. And there's some people that are angry about that, but you join his academy, you pay, I think it's $1,000 a year or something like that. But the knowledge is just so great, And you guys have amazing knowledge about SEO. My guess is you probably underestimate what you know, because it just seems like you deal with it every day, right?
Yeah.
But to people who want to rank in Google and are starting from zero, it's pure gold. And
we have a great team of educational experts, so they all know what they're doing and really into the online learning. But it's hard to, to get people to buy it. But there's a lot of, you have to really want to learn.
You have to want to learn.
And a lot of people, so we see that sometimes we sell a product, but people don't even start. so that's a hard thing as well.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on that. So selling is one thing, but then
there is a lot of people that are very hungry for knowledge out there. And traditionally, the way you do it is you have to go to school, sometimes for 4 years, and you have to learn all these other things that you're not really interested in, like political science and economics and this and that and the next thing, to be a complete person. And really, you just want to learn this one specific thing.
Yeah.
And if you know that one specific thing, you can apply it. You don't actually need all those other things. The growth in online learning has really been exponential. And I thought that it would be fairly mature by now, but it seems like it's just starting off. And the trajectory right now is like that.
And there's a lot of quality difference in online learning as well. So a lot of people just only want the free stuff. And I think so. When we started out with our WordPress for Beginners course, we were planning to make it a paid course. And it's built that way, so it's a huge course. But in the end, we decided, well, this is a WordPress thing. This is actually something we can give back to the community. We don't want to compete with other people who made free courses in that. That doesn't feel right. But it is a complete course. It's not like a freemium thing or something. So that's something people and everyone who sees it is really enthusiastic.
And that's a model that I see, with Hurlbut's Academy, for example. It's maybe 10% of it is free, and then the rest is paid. And I think that you should feel okay to charge for content, because you had to do a lot of work to acquire the knowledge. But I would also say that there are people out there that are very happy to exchange dollars for that knowledge, because the knowledge is worth far more than the money that they're exchanging for it. And it's hard to come by. And they want it to be sustainable for the creator as well. And so I think it's a very exciting part of your business.
Well, me too.
It is. And it's just blending in so many ways. It's the it's the SEO for everyone thing with the free courses. It's also just helping people use our plugin with the plugin course. It's helping people go in depth on SEO with keyword research trainings, site structure training, structured data trainings, and everything like that. It's just
you have so many courses you don't even know.
No. I don't even know all of them. No, that's true. But it's just a different ballgame than just going onto YouTube and looking up a course.
Because there's a lot of low quality content, and I think that's one of the benefits of going to an academy like you have, where the quality is going to be of a certain level, and you have a team that can QA it, as we were talking about earlier, kind of like with software and so on. So, are you going to come to our party tonight?
Are we? I don't know. What are we going to do
You're doing
tonight?
the post-edit thing together, right?
Say again?
You're doing that with Brian, right?
No, we're doing a film premiere.
Oh.
For Open.
Totally got the invite for that.
Yeah,
It's like
great.
the black thing with
Exactly,
the gold
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
You're in the film, right?
I'm in the film, I think. Kathy interviewed me on
Sean?
WordCamp Europe.
I think you...
You cut him out?
If you cut me out, I'm definitely not coming.
Well, we cut 35 other people out. So, no, we only had 13
so
minutes.
You're making me one of those guys.
No, we only had 13 minutes, and he's the guy who had to make all the hard choices. So
It'll work.
Yeah. Well, we hope to see you there.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to have dinner with our team as well.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of invites.
So we're gonna be running
sure.
around this
Yeah,
evening.
yeah,
We're gonna be running around St. Louis.
Well, we'll be going from 7:30 to midnight. They're going to kick us out. So maybe if you're going to come, maybe by 10 or 11. But we would love to have you, and it's been great chatting with you today.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah. And
Say hi to Kathy.
I will. Yeah, she's around here somewhere. But are you? You're obviously going to be at EU, I assume.
Yes, we're on the short list, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to be in WordCamp Asia. Well, our team is, but we're not.
Yeah.
Are you going to WordCamp Asia?
Maybe. I haven't been before, but I will try.
It's the first one.
Oh, it's the first one, of course. Yeah. Well, that's why I haven't been before. So.
I'm just wondering about how moist it's going to be and how hot it's going to be, and it's cold in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a totally different ball game temperature-wise.
You're gonna have WordCamp shock.
I'm not going.
You're going to live there.
No, I like cold.
All right. Well, I better let you go. I'm sure you're very
Yeah.
busy, and it's been amazing chatting with you. So thank you so much. Thank you. So it's Marieke and Michiel.
Yeah, he's really
Awesome.
good.
Close enough?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. It's been wonderful.
Great.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you for watching episode 55 of Think Like a Hacker. To learn more about Yoast or Yoast Academy, head on over to yoast.com. If you're watching on YouTube, a like, a share, and a subscribe would be very helpful. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, we would love a review or a rating. If you haven't yet seen the documentary short that the Wordfence team contributed to, head to open.film. This documentary short was shown at State of the Word, and we were humbled to receive a shout out from Matt Mullenweg for our production. This is a completely open source project, and you can see what the WordPress community is all about. If you want to get more involved with WordPress, head to make.wordpress.org and look for a WordPress meetup or a WordCamp somewhere in a community near you. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next week.